What is going on, guys? It is a Thanksgiving morning, very early, and I figured that I would bring you a Thanksgiving story that happened to me in 2024. And this story happened when I was staying in a trailer over there with holes in the walls and rats in the ceiling. Basically, it was a rat den. Now, this rat den, I'm going to call it a rat den because basically that's what it was. Now, the uncle that I was staying with in this trailer, this rat den, he flipped out about any and everything. If the food in the refrigerator was gone, he would immediately accuse me of stealing it and eating it. Well, when I was staying there, he had one of his kids staying there, and it would all get brought back on me. But this story happened last year at Thanksgiving, and this is the time that he flipped out over some spam. Now, you guys know what spam is. I don't have to sit here and tell you what spam is. And so last year we're sitting there. Well, it was the day before Thanksgiving. You know, we're all getting ready. Everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. And he goes to the store. All right, he goes to the dollar store, wherever he goes to get this spam. And he comes back and he tells me, he says, he says, yeah, we're having spam tomorrow. Uh-huh, what? He says, yeah, we're having spam for Thanksgiving. Now, let me tell you something. Spam smells like it stinks. It does not smell good at all. And if any of you eating spam, you know what I'm talking about. You know the kind of the smell that spam has. And he used to take this stuff and eat it completely raw, which I do not recommend anyone doing at all. You know, if you like spam, so be it. So last year, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, I'm sitting there the day before. He's like, well, I bought all this spam. I thought you wanted spam. I'm like, man, you know what? I don't want spam. You know, I wanted a turkey because a good friend of mine, I'm not going to say his name, but a good friend of mine, him and his wife, luckily made me some turkey, and they brought it over to me on Thanksgiving when he was gone. And so good, they were church people that's who brought it to me. So I'm sitting there that afternoon on Thanksgiving afternoon, and he comes in. He says, you know what? He says, we're going to have to make spam today for Thanksgiving. I'm like, you know what? I ate turkey. And I told him this as he was cooking this spam. And he says, you what? I was like, I got some turkey brought to me today, son. I ain't eating that nasty spam. You can do whatever you want with it. You can feed it to your dog. You can eat it. I don't care. You can eat it all. Have at it. Help yourself. I'm telling you, it always ends bad. And so he tends to take this a pot of hot grease with spam still frying. He takes it off the eye of the stove. Now you know where this is going. He takes this hot pot of spam and grease and just flings it across the living room, and it goes everywhere. Grease, spam. I mean, there's a fire in the middle of the living room. Now, mind you, I told him to put the damn fire out. He's sitting there, and he finally gets water and he starts pouring it on. Finally, it's a grease fire because there is grease. If you go in the trailer, if you go in the trailer where I used to stay at, there's a burn mark where the fire had burned up the wall. Literally where he has thrown this spam and this hot grease. I mean, it hit the wall so hard with a impact, I could hear it. And he threw this pot of hot spam and grease up against the wall. And finally, he gets it out. He takes his pot and he's so mad, acting like a child, like he always does. You know, that's how he is. He's a crybaby. And I'm telling you guys the truth. He did not want me in his life. Okay? This man did not want me in his life. And that's the God honest truth. Like, he had a problem taking me to the doctor. Let me tell y'all something. The other day, I got a ride to the doctor with a Medicaid van, and the Medicaid lady who did this, she walked me in this office, and she gave the desk clerk the number to call her. Says, call me when he's done. And she even went and took the time and got me a wheelchair, you know? And so last year, after he gets the grease fire out that he started and threw the whole pot of Spam and grease and stuff like that on the wall, I mean, literally, you could hear it was sizzling, and he was, when he got done, he was yelling. He's like, I wish that they would have brought me some turkey. Now he's crying because I got to eat a whole bunch of turkey. These church people brought me a pile of turkey. Like, there was so much turkey in there that I could have made last me for 2 or 3 days, in which I did. And I said, you know what? You're not getting none. You're not getting none of my turkey. So don't even think about it, And that night when we get ready to go to bed, he climbs up in the bed. He goes, I'm going to lay beside you. I'm like, get your ass up and get out of here. And don't you ever come lay beside me like that again. I don't want you to come lay beside me like that again. Go on in there, man. Go on in there, And the funniest thing about that day was when he just went off. He flew off the handle when he took that pot of grease and that hot pot, that Spam. He's like, you know what? I put all this in, and I was going to put macaroni. He was going to cook macaroni in this Spam, which is, for one, he don't know how to make macaroni. 2, he don't even know how to boil water. This guy does not know how to cook, period. He would take stuff, and he would literally burn the stuff he cooks. Like one day I got chicken nuggets that were black, and they were so hard to eat that when I got done, they just tasted burnt. They tasted nasty, and it was some of the nastiest stuff that I had eaten. And it comes down to the day. I had a date to get out of that trailer because the owner of the trailer gave me a date to get out of there. The owner of the trailer gave me a date to get out of that trailer. He gave me a date. And it was somewhere around October. I don't know what date it was, but it was in October when I came here. He says, you got until then to get out. Okay. Well, I got until then to get out. I can, and so the day comes that I was supposed to get out, and he didn't have to kick me out. I left on my own free will. But the one thing Roy tells me, let me do my manual rewind. The one thing this family member tells me is, I'm jealous you're leaving. And I'm like, well, he's like, I ain't gonna have nobody to help me with the lights no more. You got to be the stupidest fool. Because this man, he took advantage of me. And I'm just telling y'all like it is, because it's Thanksgiving. But this man, he's thrown hot sausage at me before. He has taken perfectly good hot sausage and fed it to the dog after he has fried it. He he's done stupid stuff like that. And people ask me, why'd you leave? Well, that's why I left. Because, he says he wanted me out, okay? The person, the uncle I was staying with in that trailer, he says, you got to get out. I don't want to take you, I don't want the responsibility of taking you to any doctors no more. This uncle that I was staying with, he's got a sick mind, and that's as far as I'm gonna go. He's got a sick mind, and that's about it. I mean, and if any of you see this video, happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. Like you mean a lot to me when you view my videos and stuff like that, and I appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving. We got a turkey on in the crock pot in there, and smells good right now. It's gonna be a good turkey. Her's gonna eat some in the morning, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna have a good Thanksgiving together. And I hope each and every one of you have a happy Thanksgiving. And thank you very much. And I hope you view this video, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving.